Hi guys, Maikeru here. Today I'm going to be speaking about my relic choices for the upcoming leagues, and in addition to my relic choices, I'm also going to be going ahead and speaking about a starter route, a nice efficient one that I've made, and there'll be links to that in the description down below. I know this will be a lot of people's first leagues, and then there's a lot of people coming from old school trying it out for the first time, so I thought I'd make this video and give my in-depth analysis of why I'm picking certain things, and then maybe you can come to a conclusion on what you want to pick. The first tier of relics, honestly, there is no contest, and you should always pick Excavator in my personal opinion. The reason why Excavator is so good is because of how important archaeology is as a skill for Iron Men specifically, and any account really, but obviously we're all Iron Men during the leagues. Divine Woodcutter and Animal Wrangler are both very good as well, but the thing with these is they kind of get covered by Excavator when you get a high archaeology level, and they're not as impactful early as Excavator is either. Not only do you get the really good archaeology benefits to Excavator, one of the metas to train early crafting on an Iron Man is gem rocks, and they'll automatically get cut when you mine the rock. You'll get a free tier 99 mattock, a free tier 100 pickaxe. You'll also be able to smelt any ore that you mine without needing the additional ores. So if you mine something like a Elder Rune bar, for the people that are coming over and have no idea what an Elder Rune bar is, it requires 2 ores and a rune bar, which again requires 2 more ores. So normally it requires 4 ores, but you can just mine one of the tier 90 ores and it will automatically smelt and bank a bar for you. So you're just getting so good value on something like this. And even on the earlier tiers where it requires 2 different ores, so you're still getting 1 ore for free even early on. The stuff that archaeology can do later on is automatically cook your food for you, which Animal Wrangler does. You can also dunk all of your divination memories and convert them to energy or XP with a relic from archaeology as well. So a lot of them definitely get covered. When it comes to the tier 2 relic, I think Farming Frenzy is the most important here. One, because farming is so important in RS3. It's important in old school as well, don't get me wrong. But in RS3 it's even more important, and the reason for that is because boss drops where they would drop herbs normally have been replaced with seeds. So a lot of places where you would get a ton of herbs and not need to worry about farming, you now get a ton of seeds and you still have to worry about farming. So being able to instantly farm a bunch, get more crops, etc, etc, it makes it really, really good to skyrocket to the late game so you can get those really powerful potions like overloads and adrenaline potions, and then even further on vuln bombs, stuff like that. I think the only other pick here that's decent is 5 finger discount personally, and that's if you like work from home or something and you want something super AFK to do. You can just AFK pickpocket forever and never foul. That, I think, is an okay pick if you're in that bracket. Outside of that, I think it's Farming Frenzy all day, and that's what I'm picking. When it comes to the teleports here, there's a very heated debate between Fairy's Flight and Assassin's Insight. No one really cares about Voidwaker because it instantly gets replaced by a bunch of teleportation jewelry from clues, like a Passage to the Abyss or something. So that one is completely redundant, whereas the others still have teleports that are like good and different to what you would unlock from like clues and the Passage to the Abyss and stuff like that. Fairy's Flight is really good because it teleports to any farming patch in the game, and that alone is pretty strong because they're scattered across the map. And Assassin's Insight also teleports you to a bunch of really, really good locations with Slayer creatures there as well. Especially if you like Slayer, this one makes even more sense. But for my pick personally, I'm going with Fairy's Flight, and let me explain why I'm choosing this over Assassins. On the screen here is a map with every single farming location that you would teleport to with this relic. As you can see, it covers such a big, vast majority of the map. And honestly, even places where it doesn't cover, like down here with Uglog, there's a spirit tree down here, there's multiple fairy rings, there's a fairy ring near Castle Wars, and there's so many other teleports from Fairy's Flight that are scattered throughout the map that then close off those places that might not have too many teleports. Not only do you get all of these teleports, you also automatically complete Tree Gnome Village, and I don't think the attack XP from Tree Gnome Village is that important, and it saves you some time there. But you also don't need to do Fairy Tale Part 1, 2, and 3. And the big thing with Fairy Tale Part 1 is you get given a random item to obtain for Magnus Multiplier, or whatever the hell his name is. He can sometimes give you really annoying things to gather, like a Nature Talisman. He can make you try and gather Avanto, Irrit, a bunch of herbs that are going to be very difficult to do early, and you know, that Nature Talisman you're going to have to spend a long time in somewhere like the Abyss to try and farm it. This risk can definitely slow down your account, because if you don't have fairy rings for an extended period of time, you're losing out on a lot of optimal teleports. Yes, you get some with assassins, but I just don't think that they outweigh the ones you would get with these ones. And you'd probably still want to unlock fairy rings, so it saves you doing free quests. And the reason why Fairy Tale Part 3 would need to be done is that is what allows you to do fairy rings without the Drayman Staff, and you don't want to carry your Drayman Staff everywhere, right? So for those reasons, I'm picking Fairy's Flight. The next tier is a bit of a tough one, because we don't know how many clues are actually going to be required to complete in order to get, the master tiers done and stuff, because you're probably going to need multiple hundreds of clues, which can take a long time. The thing with this is the production master in RS3 doesn't actually save that crazy amount of time, because the method to train crafting isn't even gem rocks after the early game, so you're not even going to need to cut all your gems at once. You just do it with different methods like the Dream of Ayaya and the Gate of Elindus, and obviously Production Master wouldn't do anything for those. Production Master helps with like fletching, but it only helps on like the bow's side and stuff. It doesn't actually help with arrows or darts if you're doing those. So it kind of gets redundant there because you want a multi-skill doing arrows or something while doing something else. The biggest thing that Production Master does help with would be fire making if it does chuck all the logs at once. And that's a fast skill anyway, and there's other methods to train it very fast. And then Herblore, because then you'd make all your potions at once. But Herblore, again, is not a slow skill by any means, and even without it, it's still going to get done in no time at all. It doesn't work with smithing. It's been confirmed that it doesn't work with smithing. Again, it does give you a decent amount of extra XP with the urns that it provides, like unlimited urns and stuff like that. But Clue might save more time in the long run because of how many clues you would have to do if you are going for the Master tier and the Elite tier of the clues. So because of this, depending on how many clues you have to do, I'm either going to go the Clue Relic or go Production Master. Because of Production Master not saving quite as much time as originally thought of how good it sounds, but still saving a ton of time on pretty much all skills that would have urns and stuff like that with the 20% extra XP, it's still a very viable and very strong relic, but is it as strong as saving you a ton of time with clues? Because the Clue Relic gives you double caskets, it gives you 50% extra chance of receiving clues, and clues are just like pretty much automatically completed because you get the Globetrotter outfit with unlimited charges. That means you can teleport to a clue location and just dig there, and then if you don't have the, hidey hole filled or something like that for that clue location, you can use the backpack to re-roll the clue, get one that you can do, and then just teleport to it. So you'll just get infinite clues complete for free with no requirements, essentially. That makes that relic save a lot of time if you have to do a lot of clues, which I think you might. So I don't know, and this is the only tier that I don't have a 100% pick right now, but it's one of these two. Whatever saves me more time, essentially. But I think both of them are really good picks, and, you can do your own justification on which one you want. I just would not pick Rejuvenated because the previous tiers of relics are nowhere near as good as these two. Next up with the combat tier of relics, I'm personally going to go Necromancy one with Soulborn. Soulborn skips all of the talent tree and soul gathering and everything of Necromancy, which is great, and then it obviously just improves the style more by making you deal more damage, get more adren, all of that jazz, 100% accuracy. And I think for me personally, because I want to try and race to the front page of the high scores and go for top 25, and because I'm doing that, the easiest way to get into high-end PVM and get like best-in-slot gear would be Necromancy. The reason why Necromancy would be the easiest way to get to high-end PVM is because you can craft your gear so easily and get like pretty much free tier 90 gear and weapons. And in addition to the weapons and gear, you can then also go ahead and just kill Raziel and get tier 95. Any other style, you're going to be looking at killing, 5-10 different bosses to get your spec weapons, to get your gear, to get, all of the other things that you might need. Whereas it's all kind of located in one place for Necromancy, making life much easier to get to high-end PVM and then get PVM in and get those, tasks done. Not to mention, a low-level Necromancy is very strong, so getting early PVM achievements with Necromancy will be very easy. I personally wouldn't pick any other relic except for Melee. I think Melee would be the for fun relic that I would pick. Melee seems really, really fun, and I think it would be a really good one. But obviously, I'm going for the ranks, and even though Melee might be a little bit more fun for me, Necromancy is still fun, and also it just means that I can get into Necromancy a lot quicker, and I like that. Getting into PVM quicker, sign me up. Next up, I think Banker's Note is a complete noob trap, and I think the only thing you should pick here is Perfection. The reason why I say Banker's Note is a noob trap is because of how good it is in old school. And if you're coming over from old school, you might not know all of the quality of lives that RS3 have that make banking and stuff way easier. If you take Perfection, you get infinite materials to craft different stuff with Invention. All of these components and materials that you get will make really good quality of life items. It can make a spring cleaner and fully upgrade it for free, and then you're going to automatically alch drops that you get. And then there's the ability to make note paper, which means you can note drops that you get. And not only does it do that, it also gives you best in slot perks, it gives you a bunch of other useful items like teleports and just amazing all-round items. Whereas Banker's Note is only really good for rune crafting in RS3. A lot of the metas for skilling don't require you to bank much, and the ones that do require you to bank, you're just going to be right next to a bank, and you can right-click a bank in RuneScape 3 and load last preset, and it just instantly refills your inventory with whatever you need. So Banker's Note doesn't really save much time there. And the banking anywhere from Banker's Note isn't that important, because, like, say you can bank in the middle of a boss instance, yeah? But you're waiting maybe 25 seconds for the boss to spawn. In RuneScape 3, you can literally teleport towards retreat, load last preset on the bank, surge or dive or whatever over to the adrenaline crystal, get all your adrenaline back, go in the boss instance, and fight the boss again within like 10-15 seconds, and the boss will instantly spawn when you re-enter. So you're actually spawning the boss quicker by heading out, banking, and re-entering. So you're not actually really saving any time by being able to camp the instance, you know? So I think it's a bit of a noob trap in that regards. And by the time you get to the point of tier 6 relic, you're going to have stuff like War's Retreat unlocked. You're going to have a lot of the quality of life banking unlocked. So yeah, I just don't think it's the pick. And last but certainly not least, this tier, I think you could pick any of the 3. I'm personally going Ascension, but I think you could go any of them. I'll start with Everlasting Faith. It resurrects you, it gives you 100% protection prayers, it gives you Soul Split, which means you get healed while using a protection prayer, and more. So this is really good if you're learning PVM for the first time, or learning high-end PVM for the first time. This will make you way more tanky, this will revive you sometimes. It doesn't revive you on everything in RS3, because some insta-kills will kill you through the revive. They like kill you multiple times in a row. So there's certain things where it doesn't help you with, but there's a lot that it does. So I think if you're learning PVM, this is a great pick. It's also very good for Slayer and stuff like that, so a very, very solid pick for sure. The fact that you have Soul Split up at all times means it has good interactions with other prayers and things as well, so very, very good. I am a big fan of this. When it comes to Specialist, I think this is really good if you're using Melee, because Melee focuses a lot on special attacks, and getting free special attacks that deal more damage, and getting Dragon Claws for free in a Amulet, so you don't have to do Wild Govik Sleeps and stuff like that if you're not a quester. It's really good if you're picking Melee. And then Ascension, I think, is the most fun relic, and also super strong. It has a chance of giving you 255 stats. If you've done Wild Govik Sleeps, you know how strong you are when you get that Stone of Jazz boost, and you'll be that all the time. Keep proccing it while PVMing with this relic, and that will also make you more tanky, which is really cool. Not only will you be way stronger with it proccing, you also have every single god book at once, which all can proc. So you have like a bunch of things that can be going off at the same time. Full book dealing a bunch of damage, Jazz book hitting 30Ks, and then you have the Grimoire giving you crit chance and crit damage increase, and you have all of the normal god books like Armadillo god book dealing damage. You have a lot of things going on all at once, and that's going to increase your damage very, very heavily. And it will be very cool to see. I think that will be the most fun relic as well, seeing all of them proc. It's going to be so sick. So that's my choices for relics personally. Maybe this has helped you choose different relics for yourself, and hopefully that is useful to you. And the only other part of this video I want to talk about is my route. But before we talk about my route, I just want to quickly talk about these neon signs in the background. They're from Creator Crafted, and they have sponsored today's video. They were so easy to set up, and they could be wall mounted or simply placed on the stands they come with, like I personally did. Not only do Creator Crafted sell these officially licensed RuneScape themed neon signs, they also sell a bunch of other merchandise such as plushies, statues, and mouse mats. If you want to check out their stuff on their website, they have so much to offer. And if you use my code Maikeru, you get 10% off, and the code can be used anytime, even on top of different promotional offers. Thank you so much for Creator Crafting for sponsoring, and let's get back to the video. In terms of my starting routes, this spreadsheet will be linked in the description down below. There is 2 tabs to it. It's my beginning path and my relic choices, which I just showed you. So the beginning path has a big, long list of an efficient pathway all the way through up until nearly 3,000 league points, which is, you know, over tier 3 relic. This will give you a really good starting place in order to start out your leagues and get a little bit of a rounded account, complete some quests, complete some area tasks, all while doing it in an efficient route with everything nearby. So if I give you an example of like an efficient route, at the start here, we're getting a task from Jacqueline as soon as we land. We're opening up the skill guide because you can do that anywhere. We're talking to Hans, which is right next to Jacqueline. We're pickpocketing men and women 10 times, which are right at Lumbridge Castle. Then we're activating prayers, which we can do anywhere. We're just walking north a little bit, pickpocketing the vegetable stall. And then the vegetable stall will give you an onion to eat, a cabbage to eat for a task. So there's lots of multiple things here. Then we'll pick up a quest and do the quest while doing other things, you know. So it's a really fun way to play if you want to be efficient with your starting route, or if you just don't know what to do and you want something to follow, feel free to check this out and give it a follow. You can just tick off each bit you do as you go, and it should help you along your way on starting your league's journey. And this is the route that I'll personally be using as well, and I'll be streaming my whole journey on Twitch, so my Twitch is in the description as well if you want to check me out. I'll be live a little bit before league starts, and then I'll be going ham. So if you have any questions and stuff like that, feel free to ask me as well. And yeah, I'm going to definitely go hard. I want to go for top 25 front page, like I said, and I want to go for max points. So that's going to take a long time, and I'm here for it. I'll be streaming the whole journey, lots of hours every day. And, you know, if you want to check it out, I'll see you there. If not, hopefully this video has helped you. And as always, until next time, see ya.